The desert wind was dry and sharp, stinging Captain Mara Vance's cheeks. She stood on the ridge of a dune, staring down at the thing half buried in the sand. It was massive, the size of a stadium, and shaped like a curved blade. Even under centuries of dust, the metal gleamed faintly. It was the alien starship people in town called the Husk. The aliens who had left it here called it something else. Worthless. Mara didn't care what they had called it. She had been looking for something to fix ever since her brother, Luke, had left Earth. He hadn't gone by choice. The interstellar research program had taken him to a distant colony world. At first, they had talked almost every day over the long-range comms. Then, slowly, the messages came less and less. Weeks would pass without a word. She told herself he was busy. She told herself he'd write soon. But deep down, she felt he was slipping away. The starship, broken and abandoned, felt like a reflection of that loss. Mara took a slow breath and stepped toward it. The air smelled faintly of ozone as she walked across the cracked sand. The salvage crew had been nervous about this job. Alien technology was dangerous. But Mara wasn't here just for the money. She was here because fixing something forgotten might give her hope that she could fix the distance between her and Luke. Inside, the air was cooler, stale but breathable. The corridors were dark, except for a faint, steady hum that seemed to come from deep inside the ship. Dust floated in thin beams of light from cracks in the hull. The place felt ancient and yet alive. She followed the sound until she found it, a round chamber with a crystal sphere in the center. The sphere glowed faintly, pulsing like a slow heartbeat. Her tools clinked as she set them down. "Power core," she whispered. "Still running after all these years." Her comb crackled. "Captain, the scans say that things cracked." "If it blows." "It won't," Mara said firmly. "The aliens called it broken because they couldn't fix it. But they're not us." She crouched down, running her fingers along the fine fractures in the crystal. She thought of Luke again, how he used to take apart broken toys when they were kids, insisting he could make them better than new. She smiled faintly at the memory. The crew set up lights and scanners. They worked carefully, pulling away rusted panels and replacing brittle cables. They didn't have alien parts, so they improvised. A piece from an old mining drill here, a 3D printed mount there. Someone used heat-resistant tape meant for space shuttles to seal part of the core housing. It was messy, human work, but it was working. Days passed in the desert. Mara spent every spare moment tinkering. At night, she sat alone under the stars, recording messages to Luke that she wasn't sure she'd send. Found something out here. She said into her recorder one night. "Big, abandoned, but not dead. Kind of like us, huh? I think I can bring it back. I hope you're okay. I miss you." She didn't send it. On the 6th day, they finished the repairs. Mara pressed her palm against the crystal sphere. "Come on," she whispered. "Wake up." The hum deepened into a low, powerful vibration. Lights flickered on along the walls. The deck under her boots trembled, not with danger, but with life. The air filled with a deep, thrumming energy. The ship was awake, the crew cheered. But Mara's eyes stayed fixed on the glowing core. For the first time in months, she felt something warm inside her. Hope. If they could bring a worthless alien wreck back to life, maybe she could bring her connection with Luke back too. They ran tests through the night. The ship's systems were old, but the human modifications made them flexible. Navigation came online with a patch from a civilian. Drone program. Weapons control linked perfectly with a salvaged asteroid mining laser. The aliens had thrown this ship away because it didn't fit their precise, rigid standards. Humans didn't care about perfect. They cared about working as dawn broke over the desert. Mara stood on the bridge, her hand resting on the patched console. The Contech called out, "Captain, you're not gonna believe this. We just picked up a deep space signal. It's your brother." Her breath caught. "Put it through." Luke's voice, rough with static but unmistakable, filled the bridge. "Mara, I heard what you're doing. That ship, they said it couldn't be fixed. But I knew you wouldn't stop trying. The signal cut for a moment, then returned. "I'm coming home. I want to see what you've built." She closed her eyes, letting the relief wash over her. The crew began preparations for a test flight. The Vigilant, as Mara had quietly named it, would soon take to the skies. She looked out at the rising sun over the desert. The aliens had abandoned this starship, calling it worthless. Humanity had upgraded it. Now nothing could stop it. And maybe nothing could stop her from finding her brother again. The desert wind was calm the next morning, but Captain Mara Vance's heart was racing. The Vigilant's core had come alive the night before, filling the ship with a steady pulse of power. It was the first time in centuries the alien vessel had breathed. The crew still moved carefully, knowing that one wrong move could fry their improvised systems. But Mara couldn't stop thinking about the message. Luke. His voice had been fuzzy, broken by static, but it was his voice. She had replayed it at least a dozen times since then. He had said he was coming home, but deep down, she feared that the long years apart might still keep them strangers. For now, there was work to do. The Vigilance bridge was still half lit, patched together with mismatched panels. Old alien glyphs glowed faintly beside human-made touchscreens. Wires hung from the ceiling in some places, and in others, the crew had welded in brackets from Earth-made cargo haulers. It wasn't pretty, but it worked. "Captain," said Chief Engineer Patel, glancing up from the navigation terminal. "The core is stable. I'd say she's ready for a test flight." Mara stepped to the console, running her hand along the cool metal. "Let's see what she can do." The crew moved quickly, running checks and strapping in. Outside, the sun rose. Over the Nevada desert, casting the sand in gold, Mara sat in the captain's chair. "Vigilant, take us up." The ship rose with a low, growing roar. Dust exploded outward from the dunes, swirling into the air. The patched thrusters hummed with power, smoother than any human craft she'd flown. The desert shrank beneath them, and the horizon curved gently as they climbed toward the edge of space. Patel let out a whistle. "She flies like she's brand new." "She's better than brand new," Mara said softly. "She's ours." They broke through the thin blue of the upper atmosphere, stars blinking into view. For a moment, Mara forgot about everything. The months of loneliness, the unanswered messages, the ache of missing her brother. All she felt was the thrill of seeing Earth from above, in a ship no alien thought would ever fly again. But the joy didn't last. The comms officer frowned. "Captain, I'm picking up something. Low-frequency signal. It's not human." Mara's hands tightened on the armrests. "Put it on speaker." A distorted voice crackled through the bridge. It spoke in a language they didn't understand. But the translator kicked in after a moment. "Unknown vessel. Identify. You are in possession of restricted property. Surrender immediately." The crew exchanged nervous glances. Patel muttered, "Restricted property?" They threw it away. "Doesn't matter," Mara said. "They want it back, but we're not done with her yet." There was silence for a moment. Then the alien voice returned, colder this time. "You cannot possibly operate that vessel. It is beyond your primitive abilities. Power down before you harm yourselves." Mara's lips curled into a small, defiant smile. "They really don't know us, do they?" The comms tech asked quietly. "Captain, what do? We keep flying." The alien signal grew weaker as they adjusted course, but Mara knew that whoever had sent it would follow. She couldn't help thinking about Luke again, about how he might hear of this someday. He had always believed humans could do anything if they worked together. She wanted him to see this proof. Still, the ache remained. She missed the easy way they used to talk. She missed the way he'd challenge her ideas, push her to think bigger. She wondered if he had changed too much out there among the stars. Or if she had. Her thoughts were interrupted by Patel's voice. "Captain, you might want to see this." On the main screen, a small, sleek craft appeared, dark metal, shaped like a knife. It was fast, closing the distance between them in seconds. "Guess our friends didn't like being ignored." Patel muttered. The alien ship fired a warning shot, a bright beam of energy that sizzled just past the Vigilant's hull. "Hold." "Course," Mara ordered. "They're trying to scare us," Patel said. "They'll have to try harder." The alien voice returned, sharper than before. "Last warning. Surrender the vessel or be destroyed." Mara leaned forward, pressing the comm. "This ship was abandoned. You called it worthless. We made it fly again. That means it's not yours anymore. It's ours, and we're not giving it up." There was a pause. Then the alien ship fired for real. The Vigilant shuddered as energy slammed into her shields. Sparks danced from a panel on the bridge. Patel cursed. Shields holding. Barely. Mara's mind raced. The alien ship was faster, maybe even stronger, but it wasn't Vigilant. It didn't have the strange mix of human creativity and alien precision that made this ship unique. "Patel," she said, "bring the mining laser online. Let's give them something to think about." The human-made weapon locked onto the alien ship. A sharp beam lanced out, striking the attacker's shields. The alien craft swerved away, clearly startled. The desert sky glowed with early morning light, painting the dunes in soft gold and shadow. Captain Mara Vance stood on the deck of the Vigilant, her eyes scanning the horizon. The alien ship had disappeared, but Mara knew this was only the beginning. Inside the ship, the hum of the core felt steady, like a heartbeat. It reminded her of Luke, strong, steady, even when things felt broken. She had missed him so much over the past months, but she had learned to channel that sadness into determination. If humanity could take a worthless alien ship and make it fly, maybe they could reconnect too. "Captain," Patel said from the engineering console, "all systems are holding steady. We're ready for the first real test flight outside the atmosphere." Mara smiled. "Let's take her up. Show the universe what humans can do." The crew worked with practiced precision, checking every panel, every wire, every human-made modification. They were nervous. After all, they were testing a ship that aliens had abandoned centuries ago. But there was a quiet excitement, too. This wasn't just any test flight. It was proof that humans could adapt, improve, and succeed where others had failed. Mara sat in the captain's chair and keyed the controls. Engage thrusters. The Vigilant rose smoothly, shaking off sand and dust. The ship's patched thrusters hummed in harmony with the alien core. It was a strange combination, human improvisation and alien technology, but it worked beautifully. Outside the viewport, the Earth curved gently beneath them. The crew gasped. They had flown human-made ships before, but nothing compared to the size and elegance of the Vigilant in motion. "Feels alive," said Patel, grinning. Mara nodded. "She's alive because we made her alive. Humans never give up." The ship climbed higher, leaving the atmosphere behind. The stars shimmered in the darkness of space, and for a moment, Mara forgot the distance from her brother Dot. Then the comm crackled. "Captain," said Lieutenant Shun, "incoming signal. It's faint, but it's repeating a pattern." Mara leaned forward. "Can you translate it?" The translator activated, and a voice came through. Cold and unfamiliar. Unauthorized vessel. Surrender immediately. This is restricted property. You will be destroyed if you do not comply. Mara's jaw tightened. They still don't understand. This is not theirs anymore. It's ours, Patel muttered. They never learn, do they? Mara's eyes focused on the viewport. A sleek alien ship approached rapidly. It moved with precision, but there was something predictable about its path. Humans were not predictable. Hold steady, Mara said. Let's see how they handle. Creativity. The alien ship fired a warning shot. A streak of energy passed dangerously close to the Vigilant's hull. Sparks flickered, but the shields held. Patel adjusted the systems. Hull integrity is stable. Shields absorbing. Okay, we can handle this. Mara smiled, thinking of Luke. He had always admired her problem-solving skills. If he could see her now, controlling this massive, ancient alien ship with her crew, he might remember why he had trusted her, even from millions of kilometers away. She took a deep breath and issued an order. Engage adaptive thrusters. Let's show them human ingenuity. The ship twisted in ways the alien ship could not predict. It dove, rolled, and pivoted sharply. The aliens fired again, but their shots were slow compared to the Vigilant's movement. Captain, Patel said, they're trying to follow, but they can't match our maneuvers. Mara felt a thrill of pride. Humanity didn't have the fastest technology. Humans didn't always have the strongest weapons. But humans were creative, persistent, and fearless. They could take what others discarded and turn it into something. Incredible. The alien ship fired once more, then veered off. Mara knew it was calling for reinforcements. The battle was only beginning. Steady, she said. Keep the ship in formation and maintain shield levels. We're just getting started. The crew worked with confidence. Every human-made modification seemed to make the ship stronger. Adaptive shields, reinforced thrusters, and the cores. Alien energy combined to form something greater than the sum of its parts. As the alien ship disappeared from view, Mara keyed a private recorder. Luke, if you're listening, I hope you see this one day. We've made the impossible possible. We've taken what others abandoned and made it ours. That's what humans do. We don't quit. And I don't want to lose what we had. I hope you come back so we can fix it. She didn't send the message. Not yet. She wanted it ready when he finally returned. Patel looked at her, eyebrows raised. Captain, we might want to consider our next steps. Reinforcements could be on the way. Mara nodded. We'll be ready. This ship, she's not just ours. She's human ingenuity made real. Nothing can stop her, or us. The ship's core pulsed steadily, as if agreeing with her. Mara's heart swelled with pride and hope. Even with Luke far away, even with alien threats looming, humans had shown that they could rise to any challenge. And maybe, just maybe, this ship and their courage could bridge the distance. Between her and her brother, the Vigilant drifted in the quiet of space for a moment, its lights glowing softly. The desert was far behind them, Earth a blue jewel below. And Mara felt something she hadn't felt in months. Hope. The aliens had abandoned this ship, calling it worthless. Humanity had upgraded it. Now nothing could stop it. And Mara believed that nothing could stop her from finding a way back to Luke. 2. The stars stretched endlessly around the Vigilant, but Captain Mara Vance didn't feel small. She felt alive. The ship thrummed beneath. Her hands, the hybrid pulse of alien technology and human modifications radiating strength. The calm didn't last long. Captain, Patel's voice was tense. Scans show multiple contacts. They're closing fast. A fleet. Mara leaned forward, gripping the armrests. Her chest tightened, but she forced herself to stay calm. Show me. The holographic display flickered to life. Dozens of sleek alien ships appeared, moving with precision and coordination. Their intention was clear: capture or destroy the Vigilant. "Everyone hold steady," Mara ordered. "We faced one. We can handle many. Remember, humans adapt, humans survive." The crew worked silently but efficiently, adjusting shields, calibrating the weapons, and rerouting power. Every modification Mara's team had made to the ship was a gamble, and every gamble could now save their lives. Mara couldn't help thinking about Luke. He was out there somewhere among the stars, so far away. She missed him terribly. She wanted to reach out, to tell him everything. But first, they had to survive this. "Captain," Patel said, "they're in formation. They'll try to box us in." Mara's mind raced. The aliens were organized, disciplined, but predictable. Humans were not. "Adaptive thrusters online," she said. "We're going to turn this hunt into a lesson." The Vigilant shuddered as she twisted sharply, dodging an incoming volley. The alien ships fired again, but their shots were too slow to follow the human-made adjustments. The hybrid thrusters allowed Mara to spin, twist, and drop in unexpected directions, each move stretching the alien pursuers past their limits. The crew began to cheer quietly. "They can't track us," Patel said with a grin. "They're trying, but it's like we're dancing." Mara allowed herself a small smile. This was the kind of moment she had imagined when Luke first left Earth. They used to watch the stars together as kids and dream of space. She thought about how he would have laughed, seeing her pilot an alien ship with human thrusters and duct tape, outsmarting a fleet far superior in design. "Captain," Sean said, "we can use the asteroid. Field ahead. It's risky, but it could break their formation." Mara nodded. "Do it, but stay sharp. One mistake and we lose more than just the ship." The Vigilant dove toward the field, twisting through the rocks like a needle threading a fabric. The alien ships hesitated, their coordination faltering. One ship clipped a rock and spun out of formation. Another fired at the debris, hitting nothing but dust. "Human ingenuity wins again," Mara whispered, feeling a surge of pride. For a moment, the crew laughed, even in tension. They were scared, yes, but alive and victorious in small, brilliant ways. Then Mara's mind drifted back to Luke. She had imagined what it would be like to have him on the Vigilant with her, guiding her through challenges and joking about her reckless maneuvers. Her heart ached with the distance, but hope strengthened with every victory. Humans could turn anything abandoned or worthless into something extraordinary, and maybe someday she could do the same with her relationship with Luke. Fleet regrouped. This time, the aliens tried to corner the Vigilant from multiple angles. Mara's pulse quickened. "We're not running," she said. "We're outsmarting them. Fire the adaptive pulse laser." Patel and the weapons officer worked quickly, targeting alien shields with precision. Energy beams struck the fleet's formation, forcing them to scatter. For the first time, a human crew was dictating the pace of the fight. The alien commander's voice rang through the comms. "You are not authorized to possess that vessel. You will be destroyed." Mara pressed the come button. "We took what you threw away. You called it worthless. You abandoned it. Humanity upgraded it. Now nothing, and I mean nothing, can stop it." The alien fleet paused, apparently stunned by her defiance. The Vigilant spun gracefully, dodging minor attacks while staying in perfect formation. The hybrid core thrummed in response, almost like it understood her words. Chun glanced at Mara. "Captain, they're backing off. 4. Now, looks like they're recalculating." Mara exhaled slowly. "Good, but we're not done." The void of space had never felt so heavy. Captain Mara Vance leaned over the bridge console of the Vigilant, her eyes scanning the sensors. The alien fleet had regrouped, and this time it was enormous. Dozens of warships, all moving in perfect coordination. "Captain," Patel said, his voice tight, "they're surrounding us. Looks like the entire sector is mobilized." This is no warning anymore. Mara's chest tightened, but she straightened. She had expected this. She had always known that once humans dared to touch the ship they called worthless, the aliens would. "Come." She glanced at her crew. Every member was tense, but ready. Their faces showed determination. Fear was there, yes, but so was hope. And hope was powerful. "Listen carefully," Mara said. "They may have numbers. They may have speed. But they do not have imagination. Humans adapt. Humans overcome. That's what we're going to do. Prepare for full defensive maneuvers." The crew moved quickly, adjusting shields, thrusters, and weapons. Human-made modifications hummed in harmony with the alien core. The Vigilant was no longer just a ship. It was proof that humans could take what was abandoned, what others thought impossible, and make it extraordinary. The lead alien vessel emerged from the edge of the sensor range. Its hull gleamed in the starlight. The Admiral's voice crackled through the comms, cold and commanding. "Humans, you dare to operate technology beyond your comprehension. Surrender the vessel. Failure to comply will result in destruction." Mara's hands tightened on the controls. "They don't know humans," she said quietly. "We never surrender. We find a way." Patel adjusted the shields. "Captain, they're forming an attack pattern. They'll hit us from multiple directions." Mara's mind raced. The alien fleet had speed and numbers, but humans had creativity. She had learned long ago that improvisation and adaptability were advantages no rigid fleet could match. "Engage adaptive thrusters," she ordered. "Split the formation. We'll force them into mistakes." The Vigilant danced through space, twisting, turning, and dodging with precision. The alien ships fired, but their energy beams missed repeatedly. The crew worked together seamlessly. Each human-made upgrade on the ship responding perfectly to Mara's commands. "Patel, fire the pulse lasers," Mara said. "Target the outer ships, make them scatter." The human-made beams struck with perfect accuracy, hitting the shields of the outermost vessels. Sparks erupted as alien energy shields struggled to absorb the impact. One ship veered off course, then another. The Admiral's voice came again, furious this time. "You will not survive this, humans." Mara smiled faintly. "We're not just surviving, we're thriving." Even in the tension, her thoughts returned to Luke. She imagined him watching from a distant colony world, hearing of this impossible victory. She missed the easy conversations, the teasing arguments, the laughter they shared. She missed having him near. But she believed, as strongly as she believed in the Vigilant, that they could reconnect. She just had to survive, just had. To prove that humans could do the impossible. "Captain," Chun said, "shields holding at 90%. Weapons ready. I think we can break through their line if we act fast." Mara nodded. "Do it, but watch each other's flanks. Humans never quit, but we never act recklessly either." The Vigilant lunged forward, weaving through the alien formation. The hybrid thrusters allowed sharp pivots, impossible flips, and sudden drops that the alien fleet couldn't anticipate. Beams of energy streaked past, missing their target. Now, adaptive pulse laser. Mara commanded. Patel fired, hitting the leading ship's shields repeatedly. One alien cruiser faltered, its engine sparking, forcing the fleet to adjust. The Vigilant took the opening and surged through the line. The alien ships reeled, unable to predict the chaotic human tactics. "Captain," Chun said, "they're retreating from the center formation." Mara allowed herself a small smile. Humanity had shown the aliens that creativity, determination, and adaptability could triumph over raw power. The comm crackled. The Admiral's voice was strained, almost incredulous. You are not what we expected. Mara pressed the comm button. We're human. We take what's abandoned, what's impossible, and we make it ours. You called this ship worthless. Humanity upgraded it. Now nothing can stop it. Even as the alien fleet began to withdraw, Mara thought about Luke. She wanted him to know, to see that humans never gave up. That humans could take what others threw away and turn it into hope, strength, and life. She keyed a private recording. Luke, if you can hear this, the ship is flying. The crew is amazing. And I believe that we can fix what's broken between us too. I hope you come home soon. I hope you see this. I hope you believe. She didn't send the message. Not yet. It was for the right moment, when he returned, when he could bridge the distance that had grown between them. The crew cheered quietly as the Vigilant sailed through the now empty field. They had faced the fleet, and they had won. The aliens had underestimated human ingenuity, and humanity had proven that determination and creativity could defy expectation. Mara leaned back in her chair, her heart swelling with pride and hope. The Vigilant wasn't just a ship. It was a symbol of human perseverance, human brilliance, and human heart. And for Mara, it was also a promise. A promise that no matter how far Luke had gone, no matter how long the distance, they could find a way back to each other. The aliens had abandoned the Vigilant, calling it worthless. Humanity had upgraded it. Now nothing could stop it. And Mara believed that nothing could stop her from reconnecting with the person she cared about most, her brother. The silence of deep space was deceptive. Captain Mara Vance sat on the bridge of the Vigilant, her hands resting lightly on the controls, eyes scanning the endless stars. The alien fleet had been repelled, but she knew it was only temporary. Their sector was vast, and the aliens would return. Captain, Patel said, pointing at the holodisplay, we've got intel on their central command. If we strike there, we could disrupt their fleet long term. Mara's jaw tightened. Striking directly at the enemy's heart was risky, far riskier than dodging a patrol ship or weaving through asteroids. But humans were not built to shy away from impossible odds. We do it, she said firmly. Prepare for stealth entry. The crew worked quickly. Human ingenuity turned improvisation into precision. Shields were modified to bend radar signatures. Engines were recalibrated to minimize heat emissions. Even the alien core, once thought temperamental, now hummed perfectly in tune with human systems. Stealth is ready, Captain, Chun said. We should be nearly invisible to their sensors. Mara nodded. Good, let's move. The Vigilant slipped through space like a shadow, avoiding patrols, weaving between asteroid fields, and taking paths no alien mind would consider. Mara's thoughts, however, kept returning to Luke. It had been months since his departure. Messages had grown sparse. She longed for the easy connection they once had, the jokes, the teasing arguments, the late-night talks about stars, and possibilities. Space and duty had stretched that bond thin, and she feared that when he returned, they might feel distant, like strangers. But she refused to let fear stop her. Humans adapted. Humans persevered. And if humanity could take a worthless alien ship and make it unstoppable, surely she could rebuild a bridge to Luke. The Vigilant approached the alien command station. It was enormous, a dark circular fortress bristling with energy. Shields and weapon turrets. Mara's pulse quickened. Captain, Patel said, there's no easy path in. They've anticipated direct attacks. Mara smiled faintly. Then we won't attack directly. Humans never attack the way others expect. Using the ship's hybrid thrusters and human-modified adaptive systems, Mara guided the Vigilant through a narrow asteroid corridor. The turret's targeting systems were calibrated for standard flight paths. Mara's unpredictable maneuvers allowed the Vigilant to pass under radar, her crew holding their breath as they slipped past defenses. "Almost there," Mara whispered. "The Alien Command Station detected them at last." Energy beams flared toward the Vigilant. Mara gritted her teeth. "Adaptive shields," she shouted. "Divert power to pulse emitters." The crew obeyed instantly. Beams glanced harmlessly off the reinforced hull. The Vigilant twisted and rolled, her patch thrusters firing at impossible angles, dodging energy strikes that would have destroyed any other ship. "We're inside their range," Sean called. "We can strike the central core." Mara nodded. "Fire at my mark. Precision counts more than power." Pulse lasers, guided by human ingenuity and careful calculation, struck the alien core. Sparks and energy arcs danced across its surface. The fortress shuddered. Communication lines blinked with confusion. For the first time, the aliens seemed uncertain. "Captain!" Attell yelled. "Shields dropping. They're trying to retaliate." Mara's eyes narrowed. "Keep steady. They can't predict human creativity. We move as one." "Fire again." The crew followed her orders, combining adaptive lasers and thrusters in a perfect symphony of improvisation and coordination. The alien core faltered, its defenses failing. Under unexpected tactics, for a brief moment, silence returned. The Vigilant floated among the shattered shields of the alien station, a human victory written across the stars. Mara allowed herself a quiet smile, but her thoughts drifted immediately to Luke. She could almost see him, standing on some distant colony world, staring at the stars and wondering if she was alive, if she was safe. She wanted him to see this.